called the boom.
Hello, Charlie Fox here with Chubwagon Monsters and all things collectible, talking about, the hobbies that we're... Start over. Hello, Charlie Fox here again with Chubwagon Monsters, Hobbies and more. And I thought today we would talk about something that's pretty important that every collector should know. Every collector out there, or if you're getting into collecting, should be privy to know, so that you can make the best possible decisions when it comes to collecting. And what we're talking about today is counterfeits. We live in a world now where counterfeits and fake cards are really good at what they do. And so there's a few things I want to talk about, go over with you, that I think will help you become a better collector, just be more educated. And in this field, hobby, when we know more, it helps us all out. We can keep the bad guys from taking over, the Team Rocket guys from taking over and doing what we don't want them to do, and that is sell you fake cards. Okay, so counterfeit cards. Counterfeit cards suck. And here's the deal about counterfeit cards. You can find them in a lot of the most prevalent places that you like to go to when it comes to shopping. Some of those places that you will find them in all the time are flea markets. Flea markets, they exist like fleas on a nasty couch. They're everywhere. If you're seeing deals on cards that are too good to be true, probably is true. So be wary of that. With the thing with history of collecting, anytime there's value to collecting cards, you're gonna have counterfeits out there. Counterfeits just exist. People want to take your money. Team Rocket's out there for a reason. This is why. So be very wary of that. I would say the flea markets are probably some of the worst places. For me, here in Dallas, we've got Trader's Village. I've seen some fakes out there from time to time. That goes for a lot of other things as well. A lot of these things I'm actually going over today, you can apply to a collecting or just buying really high quality products of just about anything out there. So just knowing these things and having this in the back of your mind can make you a better consumer, making sure your money goes further and the things that you buy actually last you a long time, because the things that you're wanting, they're made well. That's why we collect what we collect. So a few other things to look out for besides flea markets is also small conventions. Small conventions are kind of rough too, especially the bargain basement bins. Looking through those things, trying to find those gems, you might come across some counterfeits. They get brought in bulk to begin with, and because of that, they don't check everything closely. So know that. Also, eBay, Amazon, eBay more so, it's important for you to really pay attention to the seller and where the seller is at. Usually sellers from China, they don't have the copyright trademark laws that we have here in America, so they're a little more lax about making counterfeit items and selling them, sometimes even selling them for the same price to throw you off. So be wary of that. Any marketplace that's not regulated well is also going to be another area where you've got to kind of watch yourself. If you don't have experts paying attention to stuff, you're going to have people taking advantage of that. So heads up. So let's talk about eBay. eBay is one of your biggest places you're going to buy cards, especially singles, the really high dollar stuff. Unless you're participating in some kind of auction, such as like heritage auctions, some places like that, eBay is going to be your main go-to source. So a couple things to look out for when you're on eBay is seller ratings. Pictures when it comes to the cards. The more pictures, the better. And then the type of card you're looking at. If you're looking at a really high dollar item, really expensive first edition Charizard, do your research. If you preferably can buy it from somebody that has it in person where you can see it, that's preferable. That's not always feasible, but do your research. You're spending a lot of your hard-earned money, and you want that hard-earned money to go to somebody who's selling you an official quality product. Higher seller ratings that have multiple sales is probably your best bet. Sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes you have some kind of new collector that just realized their collection's worth money and smart, and they got their stuff graded, and now they're getting started. So it doesn't mean that you shouldn't look into somebody who's first selling, but do your research. If you can message them, contact them, and get some kind of feedback from them and start getting a conversation going, that's great. So just have an open mind, be flexible and fluid about that. eBay is a good place to go, but you've got to make sure that you do your research, especially if you're spending tons of money. Now, if you're buying something kind of on the cheaper end and you're buying multiples of them, you can take that chance and just kind of go from there. But you know, be wary of that. So the devil's in the details when it comes to what you're looking for in fake cards. There's a lot of different things out there. Again, technology is getting better and more affordable, so printing costs and printing things is making it easier for making counterfeit cards, just like people try to make counterfeit money. There's pens out there for you to check that, but you can't exactly do that to a card you're trying to collect where you run a marker over it and then boom, it shows if it's fake or not. So knowing some stuff to look out for is the key with fake cards. And like I said, devil's in the details. You know, some fake cards out there from just a surface point can look like the real deal, but if you actually look at that stuff, hey, I'm back again. Apologize for the clippiness of this. I keep having kids coming out here telling me to change Peppa Pig videos, which is fun when you're trying to put something out that's, you know, helpful to the hobby. But anyways, back to the devil's of the details of cards and what to look for in fakes, counterfeits. A couple things to look for. I mean, let's get to the obvious stuff, just the way it looks. Text is an important thing. If it looks off, it's too small, too large, it's faded, it's a different font altogether, fake all day long. Energy symbols. The size of the actual energy symbol to the bubble that it's in makes a huge difference. Or if you even see the size differences between one attack to the second, that's also a big deal. So energy symbols, inconsistent size, off when it comes to the color. As you look at more cards out there, from time to time you'll start to realize that they use the same type of colors all the time, and you'll be like, oh, this looks kind of vivid, looks too faded. And those are all things that let you know that this is probably a fake card. Different patterns from what you're used to, especially if it's a card that's been out there for a long time. If it has a completely different holo pattern, it's not like a new release set, and it's got like just some kind of off pattern altogether, it's probably a fake. The quality of the holo itself, if it's not as shiny as what you've seen before, fake. Fake. The glossiness of the card, if it's, you know, they have kind of a matte finish to them, a semi-gloss matte finish to them, and they have a little bit of a texture to them as well too. If they feel really shiny and too glossy, front or back, or if the inconsistency of the front card to the back of the card is not the same, these are all signs again that you've got yourself a well-made faker out there. Flimsiness is a big deal. The cards, you can tell a lot of these cards, they're well made. A flimsy card, more than likely, is just a two-layer card. The quality cards are usually multi-layered. They have a front, a back. They also have a center to them too, that you can kind of see a little bit of color in between. If you look at it really up close in good light. And that's another thing, light. A fake card, you can see through them in good light. In regular room lighting. I mean, yeah, flashlight, you'll really definitely see through them, but that's the biggest thing for me. It's always been like, that's the first thing you can do before anything else, is just hold it up. Look at it through the light. If you can see through it, heads up. Back to it being flimsy, you could go the whole other spectrum and it could be too thick. A thick card also is just as bad. It's again, it's got that feel to it. They have that playing card feel, like a good deck of cards that you'd play poker with. That's how Pokemon cards, Magic cards, most playing TCG games feel. They're built to be played with and hold up for a long time. So an overly thick card that you'd think that'd be a hard thing to shuffle, well, it's a good sign it's probably also fake as well. Now, if you have a few of them and you don't mind doing this, you can do this too. The tear test. Tearing it in half will definitely tell you if it's fake or not. You tear it in half, you'll be able to tell the layers. Fake one, like I said, 2 layers. A good card, 3 layers. Devil's in the details. You know, it's paying attention to the small things that really make a big difference with counterfeit cards. The printing quality in and of itself, the sharpness of the text itself, the deepness and the black rich boldness of the wording on there, the actual picture of the character on there. If the character seems a little bit off in size, too large, too small from the card you're used to seeing, it's fake. these are all things that you can look for. There's a few different things in there that you can compare to. If you're not too sure, we all have smartphones these days. Pull the card up real quick and look at it before you buy something. You know, compare the sizes of it. You can literally pull the card up to the size on your phone to actual size to look at it, or blow it up and look at it. It's hard to tell a lot of the cards on the internet because of holofoils and not being able to reflect the light back and forth and let it refract, but knowing the size proportions makes a huge difference, from the energies to the wording to the picture of the character, all that stuff. Flipping over the other side of the card, the common side that everybody sees when your cards are face down, those look the same. They should always look the same. No washed out colors are too vivid. You know, it should look the same every time. If you go up closely to the edges of the card where the card fades from the ball to the actual, striations of the color, they look the same every single time. You're not going to have this inconsistency in that. They put a lot of time and effort into making sure that's consistent, because through years of playing and playing, they want their cards to be able to mix just fine. And if they can't do that, the cards look different. You know, so these are all things to look for. So, you know, another thing I've noticed with some fake cards, which is more obvious than not, is the hit points. Some of them can have like just insanely high hit points, 3,000, 4,000 hit points. I don't think they go past 300 hit points on most of the cards, so, or 99.9% of them. So if you're seeing a high hit point past that, heads up. So, you know, these are just a few things to look out for. Fake cards suck. You know, I wish I had some with me to show you. I was thinking of buying some to kind of give you a visual representation of what fake cards look at, but I also want to just get these points out and let you guys know. And there's also other videos out there where you can see these fake cards and kind of get a good idea. Like I said, be wary of what's out there. There are people out there that want to take advantage of your money, and we don't want that. So thanks for watching. Once again, I'm Charlie Fox with Chubwagon Monsters. I apologize, I was reading off a script tonight. You know, just trying to remember some of the stuff that I came up with throughout the day. Like I said, more importantly, this is all about all of us being better collectors, being more educated about the hobby, and who's out there and who's trying to get us. If we can all kind of work together when it comes to looking out for this kind of crap, we're all going to do better. We won't let Team Rocket take over the world. So anyways, thanks for watching again, and I'll be back with another video soon with something else that kind of helps us out, add a little more humor to it. So thanks again. I'm out. Don't forget to like and subscribe!